Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Trisha. This is my YouTube channel, 3 Owl Threads, where I talk about cross stitch and other crafty things that I'm into. Today is Saturday, November 29th. It is Thanksgiving weekend here in the United States. So happy Thanksgiving to those of you who celebrated in any way. And if you didn't, happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. The holiday has been restful so far. Leaf and I hosted my mother-in-law and brother-in-law. It was pretty low-key. Everything turned out just fine. And I have just been trying to relax as much as I can since then. This is the time of year at work where I feel myself in particular, but a lot of others are just heads down, trying to make it to our winter break. I work in higher ed, and we actually have the time off between Christmas Eve and New Year's Day off paid without having to take any vacation time. And I am taking 3 extra days, which will round out my time off to 2 weeks. So I cannot wait until December 19th. That is my last working day of 2025, and I'm here for it. So if I didn't say, today is the 29th of November. That also means that in a couple days, Vlogmas starts, and yes, I'm going to give it a go again this year. I was so successful for 2 years in a row, but I also realized that that is the time where I was fortunate enough to be able to work from home full time during, that time, and going back to work, just going back into the office. I don't know. It's harder to take the time, I guess. I'm in the office generally 4 days a week, and I'm so thankful for the one remote day that I get to take, or extra remote days as my family needs me. It's wonderful, but not great for vlogging. Not great. So I'm here today to do a whip update. I have some finishes that I fully finished in the spring. We are also in my bedroom right now because I don't have another place to film, and I don't want to do it in the living room. So we're gonna finish it up in here. So I have some FFOs, I have my stitching Monopoly board updates, and then some other things that I started, just random bags that I picked up and thought, oh, I haven't shown these. So I'm excited for that. And then we'll talk plans for December, I guess. So let's get started. First things first, my FFOs. I have a bag right here. In the springtime, I went to a quilting retreat. It was actually in March. It was the first weekend of March. That was Nashville weekend, and I did not go to market because I just couldn't make myself do it. Instead, I went on my quilting retreat, which made me so extremely happy. And I FFO'd a few things. So one of the things you will not see in person, but I will try to remember to put up a picture. It was a Biscornu swap, and my Biscornu should have reached my partner, or my recipient. She wasn't my partner. She did not stitch for me. My Biscornu should have reached her, I think, by December 1st, and it sure didn't. It got to her mid-March. She was very gracious. She understood. When she finally did get it, she said she forgot that I owed it to her. So that's hilarious. So funny. So I will put up a picture here of her finished Biscornu. It was wonderful to make. The pattern I found on Etsy, and I will link it below. I stitched mine in silk and wool, I believe. And of course, not seeing the picture in front of me and not having written it down, I'm in my mind's eye, because I just saw the picture recently. I believe I used wool for the little deer. I may have used a variegated thread for the fall leaves, but I don't remember. And the silk for sure was for the mushrooms and probably the tree branches. I don't remember what else was on there. So it was all just stuff from stash. I didn't use anything that was called for, and it turned out really well. And I kind of want to make one for myself. So that was the first FFO that I finished that weekend. And then I finished a couple pillows that I had. This is not stuffed very full. A couple of pillows that I had finishing kits for. They all came together. So this was a Lizzie Kate. I'm not sure now. I think it's a Lizzie Kate. I'll put it below for sure. This was the stitched piece. It was a kit. So I did all of the kitted colors. I can see right now that I forgot to do the little thread on the needle. So oops. And then I actually connected this, I have to cover up myself. I connected the chenille with Aleene's tacky glue, and I stuffed the pillow, not very full because I didn't want a super chunky pillow, but I also wish I would have stuffed it a little bit more. And then I cut a hole in the back and just sewed this button on. This might be a vintage button, I'm not for sure, but just, I didn't sew it on. I tacked it on with the glue to cover up the hole. And that's how I finished it. And I'm pretty sure this button and this twine were part of the finishing kit. So that got finished and never got displayed because I've been meaning to show it on a Flosstube, and I missed my whole season, and that's fine. This is the next one. This I am almost positive is a heart and hand. And this came with the threads and the little buttons here and the fabric and the rickrack. So I sewed that up and then finished it. I put a hole up in the corner, and a girlfriend of mine who also crochets at Quilt Retreat made this cute little crochet black flower, and I put a vintage white button in the middle of it. Super cute. So I sewed the button onto the flower, and then I used Aleene's to cover up the hole. It's a great way to not have the weird, I don't know about how other people when they hand sew, but when I hand finish my pillows, I always have like this weird little divot wherever I finish it, just because the stitches are different, right? So doing it with the hole in the back and then covering it is a cute little detail, but also keeps from having that strange little divot. So I did that. I also completed 2 Needlebooks. Do I use these? Nah, not really. But I completed them. I can't remember who it was from. Broderie Couer something. I'll put it below. But this was a pattern and then came with a finishing kit. So this is what the design looks like. The fabric was mine. I'm pretty sure this was mine too. I'm 99% sure this is Weeks Dye Works Red Rocks. And then the finishing kit came with this pretty fabric and this felt with the key charm that is not exactly centered because I'm not perfect. And then these 2 ties. So I was able to put that together. I found, like, I held on to this for a really long time and I was too scared to start or to finish it. My cat is trying to come in here. I was too scared to finish it, and it really I just sat down at my sewing machine and did it. So that is done. Do you hear that? Bless their hearts. I don't think I can stop this either. I gotta let my cat in. Okay, we have a visitor in the room and he is rotten. So let's see how it goes. The next thing that I fully finished is this needle book. This was stitched with wool. It is a smaller pattern. Eliza, fur on me. Eliza somebody. It was a kit. It was a sampler. It also came with perforated paper. I'll say whatever it is below. And if I have it in my shop, I might have that other needle book. So my shop, if I have it in my shop, I will link it. So you can easily purchase it if you'd like. So this is a little needle book. I actually finished this during a Vlogmas some year. It is on 14 count perforated paper. It is stitched with wool. The finishing kit came with these little charms. So what is there? Scissors and a little spool. Came with the grommet right here. So I had to punch a hole in there, and then, I mean, you can't, I guess you can do it this way. It did not come with this piece of felt or wool. I've had the wool at home, and then this is the back. I probably could have stitched my initials or something on there, but I did not. Needlebook. And I think this was a little kit that I bought at Stitches and Things here in Michigan so many years ago. It came with a thread, the fabric, this little piece of twine, this pom, and then the structure. There's a box. It's a, you see my cat. It is a thimble holder. I don't have any thimbles. Oh my God. I need to get him out of there. Colby, you're so rotten. Okay, so those are all of, oh no. And then I had this idea of doing temperature knitted washcloths. I had an idea. And so I finished this one during that quilt retreat as well. I think it's this way. So this is January 2025. Oh my God, my cat. And I will never do this again. I mean, look at the end. It was all different colors, right? You had to switch off your colors. And it was 500 ends. And I can't do that. Oh, I think I'm showing the back. It's this way. I just can't. So that project was, okay, those are all of my FFOs. Now, let's do some Monopoly updates. So I'm looking at my cat, who is so bad. Colby, have you heard? I don't know if I shared this. My cat is so driving me crazy. Have you heard that, like, orange cat syndrome? Have you heard about that? So basically, the story is that there is one brain cell that all orange cats share, and they just put it out on loan. And that's when they're acting really stupid and crazy. That means they don't have their brain cell right now. They've loaned it to somebody else. He is without a brain cell right now. Okay, so Monopoly updates. I have created in my planner this little tracker for Monopoly. I have my board 3 and my board 2, just right here. And that's how I keep track of what I'm stitching, because I'm mostly stitching for Monopoly. So we're gonna start, I don't know what we're gonna start with, whatever makes sense. HallowEden. I guess we'll start with this board. Okay, it's behind me. It is not in order. We won't show them in order of how I stitch them. So I worked on, for this board, since I last recorded, which I believe was the end of September when I actually recorded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I stitched 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. I took 4 turns in October, and I've only taken one turn so far in November. We've all been busy, so it's taking a little bit longer to get through. He wants to be the star of this show. So HallowEden was a project that I stitched on, and every time I pull this out, I think I'm almost done, but I'm not. This is what it looks like. I started this 100 years ago. That's what you'll hear from me. It is stitched on, I don't know what. Picture this plus Nessie. I think it's a 28 count. I need my glasses now because I finally can't see. And I think I worked on some letters. So you did see this not that long ago. I worked on the letters over here and here, I believe. This is stitched with some called for colors, some not. I do have, that's my conversion, if you want it. So that has been coming along. I mean, I'm not that far away from finishing it. That's a theme. You'll hear me say that a lot. Not that hard or far from finishing it. The next thing that I worked on, is also something that I started a long time ago. It's my home needlebook. This was a kit. It was an exclusive kit at Market. It comes with all of like the finishing stuff. And I guess this is what it's gonna look like. I have a lot done, but also not. So I actually was stitching this on a trip. Leaf surprised me with an anniversary trip to Florida to see a friend of mine, which was a lot of fun. Got a phone call. Okay. So home needlework, needlework home needlebook. So to finish this, all I need to do is fill all this in with what, white? Yes. That's it. And then on this back side is I put my initial somewhere. So I should absolutely just finish that, but you know how that goes. You know how that goes. And it's on my Monopoly list, so hopefully it will get some more love. Oh, I think I was saying Leaf surprised me with a trip for our anniversary to Florida, and it was really less of an anniversary gift and more of a, I'm going to take Trisha to see her friend Tracy. So I did get to go see Tracy. Thank you for hosting us. We stayed there for a couple nights with her and her husband and their puppies, and I got to meet the whole family because we flew out on Halloween, and they were having a little Halloween party, and it was fantastic. So Leaf, full of surprises. Okay, home needlebook. The next one is Nottingham. Oh, I have these in the wrong order. Where's my stuff? Nottingham is missing. Are you kidding right now? It 100% is. Let me go find it. This is real life here. It fell behind me. It's behind me. It's okay. Nottingham. We are not professionals in this house. So if you do not know what Nottingham by Kathy Barrick looks like, I am going to show you. This has been called a couple times, and I worked again. I have a hanging thread. I worked again on Mrs. Nottingham's body. It's just what I've named her just now. Oh, I can't see her. Oh my gosh. Okay. So that's what she looks like. This project is being stitched on something that's fuzzy. A Ship's Manor April Prim. We've talked about this. Don't know what year. Love this fabric. And I am using a Vicky Clayton silk conversion from the called for NPIs. I believe these are NPIs. Yeah. The Vicky Clayton silks are fantastic. I love working with them. It's lovely. You can't see all that chart. Okay. Next is Stay True. That one, I have been working on Stay True on both boards. I think it's on both my boards. Or if I get a prompt that basically work on whatever you want, I have been working on Stay True. Though I have definitely taken a break from Stay True this month. I'm behind in my 1 page a month. I worked on this last, I think on another board, but we're gonna show it on this one. It was during a stitching, the Michigan Stitchers retreat that I went to. That was the last time that I worked on it. That was at the beginning of this month. So, oh, let me show you what it's going to look like. Let me find the picture. Here we go. This is what the sampler is going to look like. Stay True by Brenda Gervais. This is an exclusive kit that came from the Farm Girl spring or summer retreat. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was in June in Amana. And this is where I'm at. So I worked on the house. That's where we're at. 1, 2, 3, 4. The house is page 5 plus a little bit of page 6, and then page 6 is empty. I think I'm June, July, August, September, October, November. So I should be done with page 6 tomorrow. It is not happening, and that's okay. I think I just needed a little bit of a break from this huge sampler that I've gotten so much progress on, and I'm very, very proud of. So that's Stay True. I won't show it again because I know I have it on my other board, but I'm not going to show it again. And that's it for board 3. So let's just go put these right here. And now let's talk about board 2, which looks similar, but has less turns because this board didn't get started until August. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 unduplicated counts, as we'd say in my business. Unduplicated head count, unduplicated project count. Stay True was 1. The next one is Paradise Lost. That is right here. Paradise Lost by Plum Street Samplers. Let me find the picture. This is one that I started many moons ago. It is a beast of a pattern, and I am not very far. So this is what she looks like. Paradise Lost by Plum Street Samplers. It is so beautiful. I am stitching mine with all DMC, and it is on a 32 count Lugana. Antique white, it looks like. Probably still have the tag on. I'm sure we've talked about this. Lugana Cream, 32 count. And I'm not exactly sure what I worked on. No, see, maybe, I don't know. Oh, Yes, I do. I worked on this crown and these wings. She's a beast. Again, just using DMC, it works just fine, especially for a project of this size. 2/2. Almost a lot of my projects are 2/2. I am finding that, especially when I work on Stay True, I really like the 1/2 vibe. And also I noticed in my past couple videos, I kept saying it was 1/1. It is not. It is 1/2. You know the difference between 1/1 and 1/2. It is 1/2. I really like 1/2. We'll see. Next is Speak to the Earth sampler. And you've seen these in my previous stitching Monopoly whips that I showed. You've seen all these projects. So this is Speak to the Earth by Kooler Designs. I am also stitching this 2/2 with the DMC conversion, actually as charted DMC. And the fabric is Sorbet by Fabrics by Stephanie. And I also worked on this at the Michigan Stitchers Retreat, and I was sitting next to Stephanie, and I pulled this out and I was like, okay, quick test. What's this fabric? Of course she knows her own fabric. She looked at it and she was like, Sorbet. She knew. So I worked on this edge for my Monopoly turn. Just beautiful. This is such, and this is the width of the sampler. So this is it, which means I could actually at this point cut this so that I don't have to deal with all of this. I should probably do that, but that will not be a today thing. I love that project. I love all my projects. I'm so thankful that I still, as I took all that time off from stitching and then pulled out other projects to work on, that I still love them all. And a lot of you sent me messages or posted on my last couple of videos and said, oh my gosh, these are such blasts from the past. And they really are. Some of these things were projects that like everybody started because they were brand new or because there was a stitch along, and they're either done or forgotten. And here I am still plugging along. I worked on needle and thread again. This is on, I have lots of fabric here. This looks like a 36 count. Oh, I can tell you. 36 count mellow. I purchased this pattern and all of the supplies in Florida with my friend Tracy back in, I don't know, 2015, 2016. I don't remember at this moment. I have a long hanging thread, so sorry. And every time I pull this out to work on it, I've been working on her dress. There we are. So this is 1/2 on this 36 count, and I love it. I like working with one strand. And the 36 count, I've been saying for a long time that it's just too much for my eyes, but it's not. With the readers or the magnifiers, these are readers, my other ones are magnifiers, it's not that bad. So I might try to do some more 1/1. Nope. See, there we go. 1/2 stuff on smaller counts. 36 though is the max. I don't think I can do a 40 anymore. Stay True again. And then Tree of Hope was my most recent Monopoly work on. Tree of Hope looks like this. It's by Mirabilia. I also started this long ago. I am stitching this on a piece of, it is not Lugana, it's like Jubilee, 28 count Jubilee in Nocturne. This is from Picture This Plus, right? Colorscapes, hand dyed, Picture This Plus, yep. And for this turn, I worked on that upper branch. So this is with all the called for silks and DMCs. Yeah, and I just worked on that branch, that upper branch. I'm not doing it right. Ta-da. So this I literally just pulled off my frame because it's been there for a while. So I'm gonna fold that up, put that away, and that's it. So those are all of my Monopoly projects that I have been working on, my works in progress. I also have some other projects that I put over here that I was just going through things and finding ones that I started or ones that I worked on. So just a few, we're gonna go through those. This little cute little bag, I got this at Target probably 3 or 4 years ago. I don't really shop at Target anymore. It's not my jam, but these were cute in the like $3 spot. I don't know if or when they'll have them back. Don't know because I haven't been in a Target in a couple years. So I have a new start. This was from the Michigan Stitchers Retreat. Team Plum Street, whoop whoop. We received this pattern. We could choose a pattern that we wanted for a stitch along. And we ended up with 2 teams. There was a Plum Street and then there was another one that I can't pronounce. So I chose Winter Moon, which is right here. And the plan was to start it during the retreat on the little retreat agenda. There was a time where we all started this if we wanted to, like Loki, you didn't have to. And then we took a group photo of Team Plum Street and then another group photo of Team whoever they are. It's something French, doesn't matter. Anyway, and then in our Facebook group for this stitching group, we are taking monthly progress pictures. So hopefully by the next retreat, next November, we'll have some finishes. So super exciting. I ended up kitting. Oh, see, we have a little project card to start. Isn't that cute? Can't stand it. So cute. I ended up purchasing a piece of fabric from Stephanie because she brought a bunch of fabric and it was beautiful. So I am stitching mine on 36 count because see, I like the 1 strand over 2 threads. 36 count Winter Wishes from Fabrics by Stephanie, and this is my little start. So I'm using all of the call for threads, which are a mix of DMC, Classic Colorworks, and Weeks Dye Works. I kitted them all up from 1, 2, 3 Stitch like a week before the retreat started because I kept getting, we also received a kitted project and I kept getting them mixed up which one was which. And for a long time I thought that this Plum Street one is the one that I was getting kitted, and then realized when talking with my friends that was not the case. So I emergency ordered everything from 1, 2, 3 Stitch. Could I have stash dove? Absolutely. Did I want to bother? I did not. So support your businesses. So that was a new start at the beginning of November. Love that. And these are all of the threads. So I'm gonna put that in my little winter bag. Maybe I'll work on that soon. I'm gonna say that over all of these. Back in June or July or whenever this retreat was, when I went to Amana, and like I said, Brenda Gervais was the guest designer, I purchased specifically to start at this retreat, a Brenda Gervais that I had never seen. And I purchased this in Ohio when I met up with some other stitchers, and we spent a week in a Verbo hanging out and stitching. Not a week, a weekend. Did I say a week? I wish. So this I purchased from a little stitching shop in Ohio. I don't remember. Tree of Life sampler. It is the teeny tiniest little daintiest sampler that I had never seen before from Brenda Gervais, but it's got, yeah, it's got a little Adam and Eve, so you know I was there for it. I purchased almost all of the threads at that little shop. They were out of a couple, so I did, if you look at my little list, I penciled in some different ones, because sometimes that's just what you do. Here are my threads. Beautimus. And it looks like there's a couple DMC in there. That's how I lose things. It's fine. And I did a quick new start while I was there. So it looks like I started in the middle. This fabric, I think I actually bought this fabric at that shop too. So this is a 32 count. I didn't keep it. A 32 count something. I don't know. I think it was from their like scrap bin. I don't know. But it's a 32 count and I'm doing it one strand over 2 threads. Because why not? I can do it if I want. I'm the boss of my stitching. Cute. I don't know if you could see that. I hope it wasn't blurry. So I haven't worked on this since June. No, May. We did that trip in May. No, I bought it in May. I haven't worked on it since June. It was the June Farm Girl retreat. It's fine. Doesn't matter. So hopefully I can work on that again soon because I like it. And it's a tiny sampler. It's 89 by 118. I should be able to get that done today, right? And it lives, oh, here is a needle just stuck in there. Let me find a place for this quickly. Okay, and it lives in this sweet bag that Denise from Goose made for all of the retreat goers. I think this was like a table gift. And this was on it. So cute. Here is Denise's QR code. Snap that, screenshot it, do whatever, and go check out her stuff. It was the first time that I ever met Denise, and she was a delight. Everybody at that Farm Girl retreat was just delightful. I'm going on another one too. I don't remember the dates because you just sign up for stuff when you can. Okay. The other thing that I thought I would share, I don't know if I've shared this before. Have I shared this project? This is from Cozy Egg Designs. She has this Luna collection. I'm trying to find it. Oh, the Nocturne collection. I'm sorry. One of the other ones was called La Luna, I think. I don't remember if I've shared this, but she released this in 2023. At least that's what my pattern says. This is called Light, and I love it. And I am so close to being done. I think I'm pretty sure all I have to finish is like this right here. So stupid. Literally, that's what it is. I just need to hold this out and finish it. So I've got a loose needle and loose thread. I am stitching this 2/2, it appears. And I'm using Gentle Art Soot. And I am stitching it on I don't know what, but it's gorgeous. And here we are. So do you see that? All I have to do is do that, whatever that year is on the bottom, and finish out the outline. How silly is that? I am quite literally keeping this out and working on it today. I might stop doing laundry. Also, rip Noodle. That's how old it is. Noodle passed a while ago. So I'm so happy that I think I was just walking by a box or something and found that and thought, I need to work on that. So there's another project in there, but I don't need to show that right now. In this bag, oh, this is an oldie, and I do have these in my Etsy shop. This is like a 2-year market thing. So this was a market release from I don't know when, 2020, 2021, 2022. I don't know, but it's from Lindy Stitches, and it's called Penelope's Posies. And mine came in a kit with the finishing ribbon, and here you can see some of the counting pins that come up there. I have the pattern, I have the separate finishing ribbon and the pins. I know I have those all in my Etsy shop, and I have loved this for so long. I don't know what order this goes in, but this is my start. I am doing this on a 32 count white Lugana, just some scrap that I had, and I am stitching it 1/2. How cute is that? Just the colors are so happy. And I have all of my thread on this thing that I got in probably in like an advent box or some type of ornament box. I don't know where it came from. I don't even know who makes it. I don't know, but it's like there's a little piece of like cardboard in here, and then this is batting or felt, looks like white felt, and then it's just stitched around. How cute, right? And it just fantastic. I need to work on that too. So that is something that I started. I think I started that over the summer, but if you like that, stitch it with me. You can find it in my shop. And the last little bits of things, this is a little bag that came in our like swag bag at the Michigan Stitchers. Just look through this. Here are some floss drops that I won in our raffle. Cute, right? And then there's just other random stuff in here. Oh, this was one of our make and takes. I have to show you this stuff. This is a make and take. It is a needle box, and she had a bunch of like stickers and stuff that we could put on. Mine's kind of cheesy. And then this is the inside. I didn't decorate with stickers on the inside. I think I forgot. So I did little beads with my name and this little frog charm, very dimensional, that we just used. Like not Aleene's, it was E8000 instead of E6000. That was a cute little takeaway. And then we also did these fobs. Oh my God, how cute. So we got this and this without these big beads in a bag as a make and take. And then she had all of these cute little charms and doodads and beads. And we took it apart and added, like I added this and these to the bottom of mine. Oh my God, are you kidding? So it could be a scissor pull. Gosh, it goes like that on the little hook. It could be a scissor pull. It could be a bag charm. It could be a scissor fob. Oh my God, she did such a good job. Okay, that's all that I'm gonna show you because that was just an aside. Oh, and our little bag came with this charm. So fun. Such a good job. I love retreats. Gosh, if you're able to go. I know it's not for everybody, either access or whatever, but I love going when I can. Hold on, I have to find my project. Okay, this is something that I started. I ordered this from Under the Sea Fabrics. It's a series of, I gotta put them in order. It's a series of patterns. Whispers of the Forest from Odd and Familiar. I'm pretty sure, yeah, Amy Jane Walker. I think she works with Leslie, and Leslie dyed a fabric specifically for this series. So I'll show you the series first, and then I'll show you my start. I actually started these. I took these with me to Amana and stitched in my room a little bit at night when I couldn't unwind. So this is the first one, Toadstool. This is the one that I started. Moth, which I love. I like the colors. There's just something about the colors. Acorn. Mole. I don't know how I feel about the mole. It's a little weird. Snail. And the frog. And then we got a fat quarter of fabric. I got 32 count Lugana. It's called Leshy. And this, you can tell I started it in Amana because I'm using a Goose needle minder. But this is where I started, or where I got to. So this is a little bit of the border and then the toadstool. I purchased everything as a kit from Under the Sea Fabric. She might still have it. She sent the fat quarter, the threads, and I ended up, she sent like the first 2 together because they weren't all released yet. But I ended up getting the whole series. So that is that. Is that it? Is that in here? See, I don't even know where it is. I guess it was in there. That's done. Okay. Maybe there's one more. Oh, that was my newest one on Plum Street. I think that might be it. That might be it for my projects. And then one that I'm going to start that I just really feel like I need to share, especially if you're a Michigander or have a loved one in Michigan. Not this year, but the year before, I did not go to the Michigan Stitchers retreat because I had a quilting retreat the same weekend. And a lot of times those two were falling on the same weekend. So I was kind of doing every other year. So last year I missed this pattern that Karen gave to all of the attendees, as she does. She always does one pattern giveaway. This year was a beautiful ice skater. I don't see it, but I saw this one and the model. This is the Mackinac Bridge. So I've lived in Michigan for the bulk of my life, outside of like 3 months that I lived in California when I was younger. My kiddo lives in the UP and goes to school there at Northern Michigan. And so this bridge means a lot to me as somebody that lives in Michigan, that has vacationed in the UP for almost all of my life, who has a kid that lives in the UP currently and who loves it there. And I remember the first time I went and picked AJ up from school for his winter break, it was a couple of years ago, we were coming back in the dark and the bridge was lit up in holiday lights, like holiday colors. And I had never seen that before. Didn't even know that was a thing. So this is a pattern that Karen did of the Mackinac Bridge lit up in its holiday colors. And I frickin' fell in love with it. I need this. I went and talked to Leslie and said I would love a piece of this fabric. There wasn't any available there in the landscape that I needed. There was only one in like portrait. So Leslie is painting a piece of this fabric for me at some point. I'm on her list, and I am going to stitch this. And I actually sent, like, I took a picture of this and sent it to AJ and was like, look at this. And he's like, oh, that's cool. But I might make this for him. We'll have to see. I've gifted him a couple of my cross stitches. I don't know where they still are, but this one's really cool. And maybe I'll stitch it twice. I don't know. So TBD on that one. Okay. I think I've shown you everything that I can show you, and I've been interrupted enough. So I think this is it. I need to sit down and do some stitching, because anytime I do a video like this, I get really stoked for my stitching. So I'm going to do that hopefully the rest of the weekend. Thank you for being here with me. I look forward to seeing you in a couple days for Vlogmas. I'm kind of excited again. I told my husband, like, I need to do this. I really want to, and he is fully supportive. And somebody gave me the idea of teaching him how to edit, so then he could do the editing and I could just focus on the filming. And I love that idea. I need to consider that for the future. But right now, I just need to consider taking care of all of my stuff and probably eating, because I'm hungry. So thank you for being here with me. If you have any questions, leave them up below. Make sure you, keep a lookout for Vlogmas. There are going to be, I'm sure, a lot of stitchers that do it. This is my favorite time of year for Flosstube, is Vlogmas, to be perfectly honest. So, and I will see you all soon. Okay. Be safe. Have a good rest of your weekend.